Hello and welcome to Barre. This is a mixture of ballet, Pilates and other fitness elements, and it's going to work best today if you are in socks or in bare feet. We really work through the feet on certain exercises, and today all you will need is something that you're using as a bar. So I've got the back of the chair, you could use the edge of the table, mantelpiece, a wall and a push, and two small hand weights, not too heavy. Tins from your kitchen cupboard will work just fine, but two small weighted objects of even weight. And that will be used for a Tricep Focus exercise a little bit later on, other muscles around the shoulder socket as well, but mostly a bit of triceps today. Other than that, we are going to begin, and we are going to begin at the bar today. We are taking an exercise from the Stop Pilates Total Barre concept. We're just going to change it up a little bit. All the movements that we're going to do for this exercise, we're going to do 4 times on each side. So I'm going to use, for example, my left arm 4 times first, and then my right arm 4 times second. Something just to be aware of. It's a little tricky sometimes to get through the camera. For example, the first movement is a reach across, so I'm reaching diagonally forwards to the opposite side, and then I'm reaching diagonally back. Unfolds on the second motion rather than the first, but it's that diagonal. So imagine yourself standing in the middle of a cross, really, and you're reaching on those diagonals, and that rotation is coming from the sternum. So just be aware of that as we get going. So moving yourself up to your bar, nice and gentle, but not too slow to start. Here we go. We're going to place the hands onto the bar. We're going to take a little lift of the chest, lifting the breastbone and releasing down. So just taking that again, making sure the feet are underneath the sit bones as you go. Trying to leave the pelvis nice and still as you lift the chest. Coming back, we're going to bend the knees, we're going to curve the spine, and then press the floor away and lengthen back up again. Let's take that again, curling over, articulating through the spine on the way down from the tailbone, and again on the way up from the tailbone. Leave the feet planted. We're going to be taking one hand across the body, so we're going to reach across and pull the elbow back. 4 of those, rotating from the sternum, trying to leave the pelvis facing forward. Same on the other arm. Reach across, elbow pulls back. Starting to deepen the breathing, so opening the backs and sides of the lungs. We're going to come across, we're going to open the arm fully. You can take the gaze with it, or you can take it just open to your room. Breathing back, rotating from the sternum, other side, opening around. So we've got rotation, we've got our nice lengthened spine. We're going to add a little bit of curve now, so it's going to curve across and open out. So this one's a little more lofty. You could take a bend of the knees if you wanted to, or do the same on the other side, over and open. A little bit of flexion, a little bit of extension. You don't have to take a plie if you don't want to. That's going to come into a side bend, up and over, just opening out to the side. It doesn't have to be too big, too soon. Remember, it's just warming up into the body. Other side, opening away. Growing nice and tall every time. We're going to take that down. We're going to take 2 bent knees, reaching up from the ceiling. Press the air away. Taking the arms down. We're going to take that again. Step it back slightly from your bar. Reach it up. Press the air away and start rolling down through the spine. Nice and gently bend the knees as you go. Have a little hang out here. Have a little swing around. A little smoosh from side to side. That's going to start to unroll us. So keeping a curve through the back. As we're coming up, we're going to take it into one heel and then the other. So a slight shift of weight either side. Pressing through the ball of the foot. Trying to keep the pelvis level. So although it shifts, 2 hip bones nice and level. Take that into a peel of the whole foot. A little bit of a marching feel. Take a shoulder roll, open up and back as you go. We're going to take that shoulder roll up and forwards. We're going to step ourselves back up to our bar. And we're going to place the hands onto the bar, step the feet to sit bone distance apart. We're going to take a plie / sort of a squat action here. So we're actually going to start with our parallel feet. We're going to start with just some smooth squats that come up and down. So I'm thinking diagonal body, pitching from here, folding at the hip joint and coming around rather than curving in the back. So allow the pelvis to tilt. Down for 2, lengthen away for 2. I was a little fast there. So it's more on like a 1 and 2 and up for 2. So we're just sinking through the sit bones. drop slightly, pitch it far away from you though, don't look straight down. Let's take it more swiftly, down and up. Just 4 of those. Really nice deep breathing. That's going to come into some little pulses down. 2. Let's go for 8 of these. Pressing the feet down into the floor. We're going to take that back up to lengthen legs. We're going to raise the heels for 2 and slowly drop them down. It does not have to be a high raise, it can be small. Working to a comfortable range for your ankles and feet. And you might find that that range increases as you go on, as the ankles, the underside of the foot gets a little warmer. If you can, speeding that up. Think about the glutes wrapping around underneath. Think about the length up the front of the thighs and straight upwards with those ankles. Try not to let them bow outwards. Think straight up. We're going to come up. We're going to take some little pliés here. Down for 2 and up for 2. I'm counting it fast. 2 there. 1, 2. So dropping just the sit bones straight down in space. Does not have to be a high raise through the heels again. It can be slightly lowered. Whatever is most comfortable, most stable for you. We're going to take it down. We're going to drop the heels down. And we're going to slowly peel them up. So let's go down for a slow 2, up for a slow 2. A little faster if it's comfortable. Down for 2 and up for 2, that's speed. And if it's really okay, I'm going to go for a little faster again. Down and up. You could always make that an alternate heel instead. Down and up. Trying to keep that pelvis level still, or 2 together. And try not to grip onto the bar, just stay nice and tall, wide through the collarbones. Drop the heels, lengthen the legs. We're going to rotate from the top of the leg into a happy first position. So that rotation spiraling down towards the feet. Try not to spiral up and in. Think wrapping around to come out down towards the nice planted feet. Let's go into a plie. So now we're just dropping your pelvis straight down and lengthening straight up. So a little slower, down for 2 and lengthening straight up. So knees tracking out over the center of the foot and staying lifted through the top of the spine. Let's take 4 a little faster. Down and up. 3 of those to go. And then we're going to have our 8 pulses down after that. So here we go, we've got an 8, a 7. Keep tracking out, rotating in the leg. That's going to turn into a little heel raise. So we've got an up, a down. Nice steady speed for that one. Again, only as high as is appropriate to your ankles at this time. Remember, it's still only second exercise. Everything's going to get a little more comfortable as we go on. We're going to stay up there. We'll just take some little pliés down and up. Drop it down and up. Come on, next track. There we go. And down and up. Let's go for 4 more. Wide, easy breathing. We're going to stay down in this one. We're just going to take some little pulses down again. So we've got the heels raised, just little pulses down. So we're opening out from the top of the leg, really wrapping the glutes. Stay down, take a little lower the heel and lift. That's going to be our last set. And I think maybe we should go for 4 more on the end here. We've got a 4. If you want a 3, challenge balance 2. Last one, TBA, active, wrapping around the waist in towards the belly button. Lengthen the legs. Take a breath up through the arms. Replace them down. We're going to move it down into that rotation again in the hip. We're going to take some internal and external rotation. So staying in your first position, we're going to raise 1 foot. It's going to start by crossing the body and then opening away. So we're going to take 4 of those. We've got cross and open. It's an extended foot, pointed toe, just tracking along the floor. Change sides. You've got in and out. Just 4. Keeping it moving, nice and swift. Back to the first side. Take it a little further. We're just opening out a little more, drawing a bit of a line across the floor. Same thing on the other side. And then just resting the hands. I tend to get a little bit tense through my hands. You're trying to just rest them onto your bar. We're going to add plie, plie, and open. Plie. So the standing leg is just plieing straight up and down. It's the other one that's rotating. So it's not the whole thing swinging. It's just one leg in and out. Last time, it's going to fully extend away. So it's coming all the way to a tendu foot. Same thing, final side, in and out. Really tracking that line out. We're going to take that into some lunge on. So we're rounding the leg, literally rounding the leg. We're going to draw a V shape on the floor. So we're going to go back to our first leg. We're going to take it forwards, round to the side, round to the back without collapsing. Close it down, same thing again, forwards. And draw the circle. It's to the back in line with the shoulder. Take it in. Same leg, back the other way. Around to the side, trying to sway in the pelvis. Trying to keep rotating the leg. Back to first. One more time. To the side. Stay lifted up. Close it in. Second leg you've got up front. To the side. To the back. Close it in. Same direction. Brushing the foot. Sliding it around. Sliding across the floor. Brush your foot to come back in. So back where you came. Round to the side. To the front. Close it down. One more time back. Pelvis stays lengthened on both sides. Hip bones level. Close it down to 2 feet. We're going to take the plie. We're going to reach both arms up. And we're going to open them all in. Replace the hands on the bar. So that pattern that we just drew with the leg, that V shape, we're actually going to repeat that with the top of the body. So we're going to be taking a little curve forwards. It's going to open around to the sides. It's a bit of a side bend with a reach. Think of this as a lift upwards, upwards towards the sky. Breastbone lifting, coming back. We'll do that twice in the same direction and then twice back the other way before we switch to the other arm. Let's give it a try. So we're going to take a little plie. Take it into a side bend. Lift it up to the top to the sky. Take it up and over. Same thing again. Plie and forwards. Side bend. Reaching upwards with the sternum. Take it up and over. Back the other way. Lift, lift, lift. Side, side, side. Curve it forwards. Bending through the knees. Keeping that plie action. Reaching up again. Open to the side. Curving around. We're going to change sides. We've got the other arm, it's going to curve forward, 6, 7, go, bend. To the side, woo, higher curtain, lift it up and over. So it's not a back bend, it's more of a upwards reach. Think really upwards, length on both sides of the body. Let's go back the other way. So both sides lengthening, side bend. Oh, I've added a plie there, never mind, curve it forwards. Reaching up, last time, here we go, breathe. Keep exhaling and return parallel. Step slightly back from the bar, just lengthen down and come a little further back. So having a little bit of stretch there. If it's better off stretching with the bent knees, that's fine too. Think of a long spine. And we are going to bend the knees, step just a little further in so we can take it into a cat stretch. Lengthen the sternum forward, slight lift through the top of the head, not the chin, top of the head. Curve it back. And forwards once again. Let's go for 2 more. Round the spine. Lifting the middle back. Forwards, lengthening through the tops of the ears. One more time. Sit bones drop. Lower spine curves. Keep the knees bent as you lengthen the spine forwards. We're going to return through that curve. Drop the hands down. If it's appropriate to straighten the legs, go for it. If it's not, keep 2 bent knees. If you've got straight leg, bend 1, reach the other arm up to the sky, rotation. If you're doing it with 2 bent knees, keep 2 bent knees, rotate to reach for the ceiling, bring it down. So whichever version is appropriate to you, finding that rotation and that reach for the ceiling. We'll go once more either side. Breathe in as you reach, breathe out as you come down. We're going to drop the sit bones. We're going to slowly roll through the spine. We're going to roll the shoulders back. We're going to move away from our bar, or move our bar away for a moment. And we're moving ourselves into the center of our space. I'm going to be skipping the music on slightly because we are going to be taking Sue, an exercise that involves our weights, and it also involves a squat action. So we're just going to be dropping down through the sit bones, bending through the knees, think shins and body, those 2 parallel lines lengthening up. Let's give that a little go. Drop yourself down, and we're actually going to stay there for a minute. Just to practice, just to warm it up. She says a minute and then I sort of moved away. It's 15 seconds. We're going to 1 minute and 15 seconds. Forgive me if it's a few seconds over. If you need something to distract yourself while you're down here, maybe take a little Total Barre. Make sure it's not going to throw off your balance. So everything in the body staying the same. You can do anything you want with your arms. Anything at all that's not going to affect your spine or your stance. If you need to lengthen your legs at any point and come back in, that's absolutely fine. If not, see if you can sink a little lower. Think about the glutes wrapping underneath. Oh, you're doing really well. I've totally lost track of what side of the numbers we're on. I think we've got about 15 seconds left. We're really good. Drop the shoulders, open through the collarbones, pressing down through the legs. Last 5 seconds. Who knows how long we've been here? I completely misread the timer. We're going to slowly start to lengthen up through the thighs, reaching through the top of the head. And that's about long enough. Shake that off. We're going to be grabbing our 2 hand weights. So for this next exercise, this is one that involves a little bit of tricep work. The pattern is going to be that we do everything 4 times slowly and 8 times quicker. When you are doing it nice and slow, we'll take a continuous squat as we go. So for example, if we are doing tricep uncurls, we're going to be squatting as we go and taking it up nice and slow. Then when we do it 8 times quicker, we're going to be holding down in that squat position that we just practiced. Woohoo! So the actions are going to be tricep uncurls. So uncurling with the palms facing in towards each other. The next action is going to be rotating. So supinating, pronating in the forearms. So just turning the weights forwards or backwards. Helps if I demonstrate with a weight, doesn't it? So turning forwards and backwards. From there, we're going to be coming into some more tricep uncurls. So this time with the palms facing inwards, in towards each other. And then from there, we're going to be taking it into a horizontal rowing action. So pulling to the front, opening the elbows back. From there, it goes into this kind of rotation here. So we're dropping the elbows, circling the elbows in, circling the elbows out, making sure we're not pinching up through the shoulders. Stay nice and wide and proud. And we're circling the elbows down, making like a little quarter circle with the elbows there. Think of the arms rotating inwards, rotating outwards. 4 slow, 8 fast. What's after the rotations? Let me check my notes. Back flies, here we go. Final set is going to be opening out and closing back in again. So just opening out to where you can still see out the corners of your eyes. Yeah, don't let it pitch off behind you. Keep it nice and firm and steady, and closing back in. So triceps, little rotations. More triceps. Sorry, that's triceps that way. Into horizontal rowing, into rotating, into back flying. Don't worry, I will do the whole thing with you to the best of my ability. And if it's moving slowly with the arms, you're squatting continually with the legs. If you're moving quicker with the arms, you're just holding a squat position. Let's try it. Here we go. We've had some time to get our breath back. Let's give this a try. Here we go from the top of this one. So tricep focus, I might turn around as I do this just to give you a little bit more of a clue what's going on. 3D work through a 2D screen. Here we go. So we've got a little tricep dip. Here we go. Opening back, triceps working, and taking that squatting action as you go. We're going to hold that down. We've got a little faster, and you do not have to make it so big in the range. You can reduce the range at any time. It could be small, just to get the right muscles working in the right way. We've got, rotating, bringing it up. Rotate down, bring it up. That's 3. And this is number 4, so we're going to stay down on the next one. And turn slowly in and out. Keep thinking TVA wrapping around you. And keep thinking pressing back. My arms are a little low there. Pressing back. We're going to come into palms forward, triceps again. Reaching through the top of the head. Just 4 with these continuous squats. And then we're going to hold down on the next one so that we can once again hold that squat. 8 a little faster. You're doing really well. We've only got 2 more sets. Really well, 3 more sets left to go. We've got our horizontal row. Smoothly down, smoothly up. Press the air away. Air onto the armpits. Now we're going to hold it down. You've got your 8 faster. Pull and pull. Think of pulling off the wall, pulling the bar towards you, pulling the weights back. Drop a little lower in that squat if you can. That's going to come into our rotating in, rotating out. So inwards with the elbows, wide and proud as you come up. And that's going to be our fourth one, so we're going to stay down. Here we go. In to out. Don't worry too much about how high the elbows come. Just think of that width outwards. Pulling outwards. Back flies on the last one. So you're going to squat down as you open, in as you close. And I've still got both my arms visible at the corners of my eyes. And now this one, I'm going to reduce the range because I'm going to be down here. And it's pretty swift. I don't want to be popping forwards and back with the chest. Just focusing into the weights, into the arms, into the shoulders, the core supporting. We're going to drop that down and lengthen the legs. We're going to reach both arms up to the sky. Lift the shoulders and then just take them a little way away from the ears. Still slightly raised, not depressed. We're going to push the air away. I'm thinking little finger pointing down, pushing the air away. We're going to drop those weights down. I say drop, nice and steady, somewhere safe. And take again, a little reach up. Press away. If it is comfortable to do so, taking a bit of a quad stretch. This one is a good one. Squeezing the glute towards the bum. Think about inside thighs coming to meet each other. If it feels too much of a knee impingement, could pop a cushion in there. Try and squeeze the cushion. Think glute activating in order to stretch out down the front of the leg. We're going to swish that away. Switch it to the other side. So again, heel to glute. Try not to tip back in the pelvis. Think lift. Squeeze it in. Inside thighs. Woo. And balance. We're going to release that leg. Feeling nice and warm, hopefully. We're going to go into some cardio legs. So this is building towards a grand back one. I'm going to bring my bar back. And I'm thinking of this going to the side of me. So actually, I say that, I'm going to move my bar slightly over. Okay. Think of this going to the side. So that is now my front. This is the side. When I think about my side in bar, it's back where the corner of my eye was. So if I'm looking straight forwards and I'm wiggling my fingers here, I can see them. If I wiggle them over here, I can't. It's too far back. So this is within my range of movement, and that's the line that my tonju would draw, and that's the line that my grand back one is going to draw. So we're going to be doing everything 4 times. Nice and simple. It's like the number of the day, number 4. We're going to take a little curtsy action, brush the foot to a tonju, brush to curtsy, brush to tonju. It's coming through that first position every time. 4 of those to a tonju. 4 of them that come just off the floor, glisse. 4 of them that come a little further off the floor, jeté. It's around knee height. And then 4 of them that come swinging through to a grand back one. I didn't put my heel down, that was bad. Heel down, heel down, heel down. Every time we will turn around, we will do the same thing on the other side. So just one side, 2 sides, and I think that will be us done for today. We'll do forwards next week. We are going to move into the floor and do some core work as well, don't worry. It's not a 23-minute session, you're fine. Let's start with that side. So the leg that is furthest away from your bar, placing the hand onto the waist. And we're going to take that leg back into a curtsy to start. We're going to tonju and curtsy. 4 of them. It's going to come to a glisse next. So it comes just off the floor, brush it down. You might lose your sock as you go. I definitely think I'm going to. Brush away. It's going to come to the jeté, just off the floor, around knee height, not too high. Pelvis nice and level. It's going to come to battement. Does not have to be higher than your hip. It can be if that's comfortable. Close to first, turn it around. Same thing on the other side. Tonju, glisse, jeté, full grand battement. Around hip height, can be lower, can be higher if it's comfortable for your body. We're going to place that foot behind in a curtsy position. We're going to brush to tonju, curtsy. There we go. Brush and down. 4 of those. Off to a glisse, just off the floor. Make it a brush, not a lift of the leg. Push the floor away. Push the floor away. Jeté, slightly higher. Really extending away, staying lifted through the spine. Pelvic floor lifting between the sit bones. Roll that one. Try not to kick the radiator. Little bend. Last one. Lengthen both sides. Close. Turn it in. Little inwards rotation if it's comfy. Just a little scooch around with the knees. Turning the legs in. We're going to be bringing ourselves down to the floor. we're going to be working on a rollover exercise. So just gently bring yourself down, seated like a ballet dancer, and coming around into a supine position. So rolling yourself down into the floor. We're working on a rollover. This comes from the Stop Pilates exercise repertoire. I'm going to offer various versions today. Choose what is most appropriate for you and your body today. Remember, your body is going to feel different every day. So starting from our imprinted spine. There's a little mini contraction between ribs and pelvis, X-factor obliques, drawing those two body parts towards each other. Lower back drops towards the floor. That's going to be in play the whole time. So it's not a massive contraction. It's something that I can still talk from. It's quite relaxed. It's just a little supportive contraction for the spine. We're going to bring the legs one at a time to a tabletop position. We're going to cross the ankles one over the other. The arms just resting into the floor, however is comfortable. Open through the collarbones, imprint in play. We're going to increase the curve to encourage the pubic bone to come towards the breastbone and roll back away again. You can exhale as you curve in, inhale as you curve away. Let's go for two more with this ankle on top. You might find your tailbone leaves the floor. You might find that it doesn't, but you're really working to your max. Absolutely fine. Switch the ankles to the other side. 4 of those again. So you've got exhaling in. Inhale away. Work to your breath pattern. If it's in time with music, hey, that's great. If it's not, hey, that's great. Just going with your breath. And I think we've got one more on this side. Knees staying open, curving the lower body towards you, open through the chest. We're going to release the legs. We're going to take them straight up to the sky. From here, we're going to exhale and lower the legs away from us. And we're going to inhale and come back up. So they're only going to a diagonal. They're not going to the floor. We're keeping our imprint position through the spine. So we're exhaling. And we're inhaling. You can hear the tremor of truth in my voice. It's tough stuff. Feel free to take breaks when you need to. Wrap the glutes underneath. Inside thighs pressing together. Fully extending through the legs if you can. A micro bend in the knees if not. Take a little release for a second. For this next one, have a rest and watch the exercise first, because it's not really good to be doing and looking at the camera on this one. So stop and have a little look, and then I will talk you through it when it's good to jump back in. So again, from imprint tabletop, 2 legs reaching away. I'm going to breathe in and raise my legs to the sky. I'm going to exhale and find that little mini curve I did in the previous exercise. I'm going to come back to 90 degrees and I'm going to take the legs away. So it's going to be breathing into here, breathing out to here, breathing into here, breathing out to here. If it is appropriate to your body, you might be able to take the feet all the way up and over your head, a bit like a plow in yoga. So once again, imprint, and please do just watch, because it's not good to turn your head and do this at the same time. So just have a little look. It's an inhale to 90. It's an exhale. You might be stopping here, or you might be coming to here. And then we're going to be, can either separate the legs or leave them together. Inhale to roll back down through the spine, and exhale to take the legs away. I'm just going to do one more. Inhale to 90. Exhale all the way up and over if it's for you today. Inhale to come back down. Exhale, take the legs away. Okay, come with me on this one if it's for you today. So from your supine position, imprint, tabletop, take a breath in, send 2 legs away on diagonal. We're going to inhale and take the legs up to 90 degrees, toes pointing to the sky. We're going to increase the curve in the lower body, bringing the pubic bone towards the breastbone, maybe just a little way, maybe until the legs are parallel to the floor. Inhale, start rolling back down again through your spine, taking the legs away, and exhale as they complete their track, all the way back up and over to their diagonal. We're just going to do 2 more today, breathing into 90 degrees. Exhale, curling the pubic bone towards you, looking at that line between the legs where they meet. Breathing in to stay. Breathing out to roll down. So inside thighs together, going straight over your nose. One more time. Breathing in, open through the chest. Shoulder blades stay down at all times, not pressing into the neck. Breathe in as you stay. Start to roll down through the spine.
Take the legs away to a diagonal and then bend one knee, 2 knees back to tabletop. Release 1 foot, 2 feet down to the floor. Have a little rest there. Bring the legs in. Give them a hug towards the chest. Feel free to look and do from this point on. It's just a tricky one with the placement of the head there, because we don't want to be bringing the legs up and over and turning the head. It's just a little precarious for the neck. Better to just be looking straight up to the sky. So, supine shell. We're going to hook one heel over the opposite thigh, quite close to the knee. Take the hand underneath the knee joint. Hug that in towards you. As close as is a comfortable stretch in the outside glute hip area of the other leg. Breathing nice and deep into the backs of the lungs. Releasing down into the floor. We're going to release that leg. Switch it over to the other side. So ankle, heel ankle against that leg. Hug that leg in towards you. You can always brace slightly with the other hand. Feel a little bit more into that stretch. I always find with stretches good to start small. Take a little wiggle. Feel where you can engage that stretch. Look for the stretch. Look for the stretch. But don't feel you've got to force it into place. Forcing is never good. Relax, release into it. Encourage the body. Don't command it. And we are going to release 2 legs. Gently roll yourself up into a seated position. Take 2 legs away. Heels flexed, toes flexed up towards the sky. We're going to slide the hands down the legs, curving over in the back. It might just be a curve for you, that might be enough. It might be a stretch towards the feet. It might be a layout along the legs, but as long as it's a lengthening action rather than a pinching downwards. Long spine. Take a breath in wherever is good. Take a breath in wherever is good. Unroll yourself. We're going to come around to a quadruped head. Tuck the toes, press the heels down, shift it back towards a downward dog kind of action, kind of movement, kind of position. Have a little wiggle around. Step the feet in. Start to unroll, dropping the sit bones and lengthening up through the top of the spine, opening through the chest. And we are done there for today. Thank you very much.